Predict HQ can tell you how 20 million different events can impact your business. And most people that use Predict HQ are using different demand models in different ways. And most of those are done with programming languages like Python and so forth. But I just got a customer that was using old school Excel and wanted me to give a little tutorial on how you convert a timestamp that you get from Predict HQ into a usable format. So here's a timestamp, and this will be applicable for Excel, but also for Google Sheets. I'm doing this now in Google Sheets, but I'll leave a link down below to both the Google Sheet as well as the Excel version of this file. And here's how the timestamp looks. It's very compact and valuable. So here you can see we have the year, the month, the day, and then there's the time. And then finally there's the Z. So really you have these three components here for the date, another one for the time, and another one for the time zone. So you have 5 different things that you need to convert. And I'm going to show you how to do it quite simply in Excel using the functions of just mid and date. Okay. I'm also using arithmetic. So here's the timestamp. And then what I did is I broke up the year, the month, and the day. Okay, and I did that using the mid function. So I told it where on the cell for A14 to pull out the year. And what I did, I could have used left 4, but instead I wanted to be consistent and keep it to those 2 functions. So I used the mid function, and I said for the mid function of A14, I want to start on position 1 and take the next 4 characters. So I'm going to do the same thing for month and for day. So here I'm doing it for month. Now I'm starting on position 6, and I'm taking 2 characters for the month and doing it for the day. Now, so now I've got the date, but I also need the time. You'll notice that this is 0.53, which means just after half the day, which is noon. So that's a value. And again, I just used the mid function to pull that out. Okay. So I used the mid function to pull it out, and you can see I used arithmetic here. So I added 0 to it, because if I didn't add the 0, watch what happens. It's going to be characters instead of being a value. So let me do the Command Z or Control Z on a PC. And anyway, that's just after half the day. So that's 12:47, and you can see that matches here exactly, 12:47. And so now I've got the time and I've got the date. All I need now is to convert from Zulu time. So here I've got, this is the time it is in Zulu. So what I did is I built this formula, and of course I'll leave this for you in the description of the video. But here's the formula that I'm using. And again, I'm just using the functions of date, mid, and arithmetic, right? Because I'm adding the time of day onto the date. And so that's how I did that. And that's the Zulu time. But now I'm not in Zulu time. I'm in Eastern time. Zulu is also known as Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So I just Googled the time in Greenwich Mean Time, and there it is, 12:41. So if I want to convert my time from Greenwich Mean Time, there are conversions you could use, but I just did it old school. I'm just going to subtract. So if you start with the Zulu time, and you can just enter it in here or paste. So you could take it from Google and just paste it in here. And so I put that in. That's hard coded at this point. There it is. And then I'm looking at Eastern time. Now I could have just used the now formula and formatted it the right way. So instead I typed it in because this is after the now that I used before. And I subtracted the difference in time. So the difference is 0.166 repeating, and that's actually turns out to be 4 hours. How do I know? Well, I just took this cell and I copied it exactly, and then I formatted it as a time in Excel, and you could do the same thing in Google Sheets. And again, I'll leave you the sheet here, so if you're having trouble formatting the time, it's already done for you. So that's the time difference, 4. I'm 4 hours behind, so what I did was I added it. And that's in this this cell right here. I'm saying take the Zulu time and add this cell, the 4 hours, and that comes up with Eastern time. So by using this formula, I can go directly from the timestamp into the time it is now. And then you could do all types of arithmetic on that timestamp so you can tell exactly what time of day it is. And you could tell things like how far after the data first appeared inside of PredictHQ did the event start. So how much advance notice did I get before the start of an event? All right, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy using PredictHQ or whatever system you're using and you wanted to convert the timestamps.